Thank you for purchasing Zolatone Metallix MTX. This video will show you the basic techniques and equipment settings necessary to properly apply Zolatone Metallix MTX. Spray application. In order to properly spray Metallix, a few equipment minimums need to be in place. You need a compressor that will output 6.9 standard cubic feet of air a minute at 80 psi. From the compressor to the pressure pot, you'll need a 3/8 inch interdiameter hose. Standard length of this hose is 50 feet. Your pressure pot needs to be a minimum 80 psi and dual regulated with a main shutoff, fluid shutoff, and quick disconnect. From the pressure pot to the gun, you need a 25-foot 5/16 inch air line and a 3/8 inch fluid line. Finally, at the end of the hose, you need a gun. All settings are based on the Binks 2100 or 2001 with external mix air cap, 63 PB or 66 SK air cap with a 565 needle and a 66 SS fluid nozzle. Before adding paint to the system, make sure that the paint pot, lines, and gun have been flushed clean with water. Using a stir stick, stir Metallix and be sure to scrape the bottom to incorporate metallic paint particles that may have settled. Do not use a mechanical drill mixer or shaker. Using a fine mesh painter's strainer bag, strain the material. In the case that the material needs to be thinned, water can be used. But do not add more than 8 ounces. Tighten the lid on the pressure pot. Before attaching air line from the compressor, set the 2 regulators to 0 by turning the adjustment screws counterclockwise. Attach the air line. Open all gun adjustments to full open. Keep the air regulator set to 0. Add pressure to the pot and pull gun trigger until paint flows from the gun. Setting the pressure by holding the gun level and waiting until the stream is approximately 3 to 5 inches before dipping downward. Now we are ready to add airflow to the gun. Turn in the adjustment screw on the air regulator and test the spray pattern on the white scrap material. Add air pressure until the spray pattern is almost fully atomized. You know you are at the correct pressure when there is a slight spitting, and dots a bit smaller than the head of a pin should be seen. If these dots are too big, slowly add air pressure until dots are the correct size. Hold the gun level at 10 to 12 inches from the surface being sprayed. Apply with a 50% overlap and move quickly enough so a damp coat is applied. Do not apply a wet coat or try to create and maintain a wet edge. Allow to dry to the touch and repeat this process. Metallix is meant to be applied in 4 light passes and allowed to dry prior to starting the next pass. Metallix spray repair. Repair damaged area. Sand smooth and prime. Apply primer by sprayer roller and softly feather out the outer edges. Do not use a brush. Once primer has dried, refer to Metallix application guide for mixing, setup, and spray application procedure. Apply a quick light pass using a feathering blending spray technique and allow to dry. Repeat this process until area reaches full coverage. Metallix troubleshooting. Striping. Most common cause is the gun was too close to the surface or the speed of the spray stroke was too slow, which resulted in creating a line that has too much paint applied in that area. To fix, apply a lighter pass. Be sure to maintain the gun tip at approximately 10 to 12 inches from the surface and move quick enough so only a slightly damp coat is applied. Allow to dry and examine the finish. Apply a second and third light coat if needed. Blotchy and or mottled appearance. The most common cause is that the entire area was applied too heavy, too much material at once. For the fix, apply a much lighter pass. Proper spray technique should leave only a slightly damp coat. Allow to dry and examine the finish. Apply a second or third light coat if needed. Rough and or gritty. Most common cause is spraying with too high an air pressure. Paint was fully or over-atomized. The paint may have been sprayed from too great a distance, which results in much of the paint to dry before reaching the intended surface. To fix, sand smooth. Typically, 180 grit sandpaper works well, though in some cases, finer paper or a Scotch-Brite will work. After sanding and removing sanding dust, apply a light coat at a lower air-to-paint ratio and from the proper distance. Paint must be applied slightly under-atomized. Please refer back to application instructions for proper settings. Depending on how aggressive the sanding needed to get the surface back to being smooth, will determine how many light passes will be needed. Typically, it takes 2 to 3 passes. Allow to dry between each pass. For more information, or if you have questions, please contact us at 1-800-765-6699.